If you're an American and you're angry, you're at the right place. If you're an American and you're not angry, what's wrong with you? In America, we are the United States of America. However, we're not very united right now. We, the people, used to be united. Even if we didn't agree, we still believed in America. Today, it's not necessarily the case. We need to fix that. It's unbelievable to me that we have people, American people, in this country that if you don't believe like I believe, you're not my friend anymore. What? You voted for this person? You're dead to me. We have families divided. We have people divided over their political choices. There are people that won't have Thanksgiving dinner with their family because they're from an opposing party. How does that make any sense? I'm sorry, it's stupid. It's wrong. But we can fix it. It's our fault, but because we drank the Kool-Aid. If you're a Republican, you don't like Democrats. If you're a Democrat, you don't like Republicans. I guess if you're an independent, you don't like anybody? Okay. This is not an accident. This is by design. This is put in place by our government. And we just let it stay there. We don't do a darn thing about it. It's time that we, the people, stand up and take action. We have to take our country back. It's really a very simple solution. Simple, but not easy. We don't have to all kumbaya and sit around in a circle and hold hands and sing and get along. Well, we do have to talk and we have to listen. Two heads are smarter than one, and all of America together is smarter than any individual segment of America. This is set in place by our government. Now, mostly, I believe it's through Congress. A president can only serve 2 terms. They have at most 8 years to achieve their agenda. And they're out. No choice in that matter. Now, that wasn't always the case. Let's go back to the beginning for a minute. Take some time and read George Washington's farewell address. In it, he indirectly talks about presidential term limits. He talks about absolute power corrupting absolutely. Not in those exact words, but that's what he means. It's a long read. It's like 26 pages on 8.5 by 11 paper. But it's a good read and it's worth the read. He warns us back then, our very first president warns us about a 2-party system causing division, about lobbyists coming into play and buying favors. We didn't listen. Now here we are. I'm angry about it. I hope you're angry about it. And I hope we can all come together so that we can fix it together. We don't have to agree on everything. But I think it's undeniable we would all agree Our nation is divided. I'm tired of the stupid rhetoric. I want to say hurtful, harmful, nasty, mean, but I want to put snowflake aside. We've got to be thick-skinned. We've got a lot of work to do. You can disagree with me, but you have to talk to me about it. Maybe you'll change my mind in some manner. Maybe I'll change your mind in some manner. And then we can come together and compromise. We have midterm elections coming up. We need to be prepared. Part of the problem, when Washington talked about serving 2 terms, he set that by example. Every president thereafter followed that example until FDR, a Democrat, who was elected for 4 terms, 32, 36, 40, and 44. Now, he didn't serve all 4 because he died early in his 4th term, but he was elected 4 times. That prompted Congress to take notice. And they proposed an amendment, the 22nd Amendment, which they ratified, they passed, and now no president can ever serve more than 2 terms by means of constitutional amendment. However, Congress people can serve 2,476 years. There's nothing in the Constitution that prohibits them. Because of that, we have a lot of Congress people who have served way too many terms. Now, in one sense, they haven't done anything wrong. They haven't broken any laws. They haven't broken the Constitution. We put them there, and we keep putting them there. Now, really, they should stop running at some point. But for goodness sake, we should stop electing them. That's on you and me. So this year we have midterms coming up. We have Senator Chuck Grassley, a Republican from Iowa, has been in office since 1975. If you're in Iowa, don't vote for him. Senator Mitch McConnell, Republican from Kentucky, 1985. Stop voting for him. Senator Dick Durbin, Democrat from Illinois, 1983. Make this his last term. Senator Ed Markey, a Democrat from Massachusetts. He's been in both the House and the Senate since 1977. Come on. Why do we keep putting these people in? Representative Hal Rogers, Republican from Kentucky, since 1981. Representative Chris Smith, Republican from New Jersey, also 1981. Representative Steny Hoyer, Democrat from Maryland. He's possibly retiring. Possibly. We don't know yet. Let's help him with his retirement. He's been there since 1981. Representative Marcy Kaptur, Democrat from Ohio, since 1983. Representative Maxine Waters, Democrat from California, since 1991. Republican John Garamendi, a Democrat from California, over 40 years in politics. He served since 1974 in state capacity, and then since 2009 as a U.S. representative. Representative Jim Clyburn, a Democrat from South Carolina, since 1992. Nancy Pelosi would be up for re-election this year, but she's announced her retirement. After 39 years. Why have we kept putting her in there time and time and time again? Here's the problem. We can't pass a law for term limits because it's a constitutional issue. The Constitution spells out the requirements for being a member of Congress, just like it does for being a president. But when FDR was elected for 4 terms, Congress said, whoa, 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 we can't have that. And they limited it through constitutional amendment to 2 terms. Yet they've never initiated an amendment or a proposal to limit congressional term limits. Why would they? There have been people that have gotten elected on the platform of they're going to push for that. You need a 2/3 majority. 1, 2, 20, 30 people. Aren't going to be enough. President can't make constitutional amendments. The judicial branch can't make constitutional amendments. Congress is the only of the 3 branches that can initiate constitutional amendments. Think they're going to do it? No, they're not going to do it. You know how many Congress people have gone in with modest means and then 20, 30, 40 years later, they're multimillionaires? It's supposed to be a public servant. It's self-servant. Congress has zero obligation to do anything that you and I want them to do. There's nothing written in the Constitution that says, hey, if you're going to be in Congress, you have to listen to your constituents. Doesn't exist, it's not there. They don't do it. They don't care. As long as they get paid, as long as they make their money, as long as they get their inside stock information, as long as they get their lobbyists that pay them money, they don't care. It was never supposed to be a career. It was supposed to be public servants serving the public. Can you name one congressperson that's been in office that has done anything that's made your life better? Then why do we keep hiring them? Why do we keep reelecting them? It's time that we fire them. There is another way that we can initiate a constitutional amendment to establish congressional term limits. So, through a state's initiative, through states' initiative, not a state, 2/3 of the state legislature, so that would be 34 out of our 50 states, would have to pass a proposal to call for congressional term limits. If 34 of 50, 2/3, would do so, then Congress has zero discretion to refuse. That's in the Constitution. If 34 of the 50 states of the United States of America said, hey, we want congressional term limits, they have to motion it, they have to put it through. Then again, it's up to the states again. It has to pass with that same 2/3, 34 out of 50 states. It'll be on all state ballots. It then has to pass 34 of the 50 states. Then it becomes an amendment. So those are the 2 ways. Maybe if we wrote Congress a nice letter, hey, would you please consider putting limits on your terms? Are we insane? It's not going to happen. So we have to get our states involved, and we have to do that. Currently, there are 14 states that have passed single subject applications for congressional term limits. Okay, to start. 9 additional states have passed applications that include congressional term limits. However, they have a broader resolutions in that. So if we could get those 9 to at least start with single application, single subject application, we've got 23. We still need 11 more. It's doable, but it's going to take you, it's going to take me to get involved, to find out how to become an advocate, to pressure our states to get this done. I'm going to be doing a lot of research in the very near future to find out what we need to do to become advocacies for this agenda. I'll be posting more, and I'll be sharing that information. And hey, if you know how, if you're part of this already, put it in the comments. Give us the information. I think both sides, well, let's say all sides, it is predominantly Republican and Democrat, but the independents are gaining a lot of ground. RFK Jr. made a tremendous impact on the last election. He had a lot of support. He made a decision for what he felt was the betterment of the country to back out. I think that's admirable. Whether it's right or wrong is almost irrelevant. The fact that he, as an American, looked at that and said, man, if I continue, I think it's going to hurt the overall results. So he didn't. He did what we all need to do and put patriotism before partisanship. Regardless which side you're on, you can't disagree. There are congresspeople on both sides of the aisle that need to not be there anymore. So check who's running in your state, because most of us don't even know. Shame on you. Have you got a long tenured person? Don't vote them back in. What's long tenure? I don't know. 10 years? Any more than 10 years? Out. I think that's fair and reasonable. You think a better number? Let me know. But we have to take action. We have to. We're the only ones who can. It means we're going to have to talk to the other side. Okay. We don't have to agree on everything. I think this is something we can all agree on. Then, if we can do this, we can do anything. We can talk about the other things. I want this channel to be a platform of free speech. I am an American before anything else. I'm a constitutionalist. We all have free speech. So I want this forum to be open to everyone. to say whatever you want to say. You agree, you disagree, I'm okay with that. You and I together, even if we're diametrically opposed, are still smarter than either one of us individually. So I don't care what your political affiliation is. I don't care what your race is. I don't care what your sexual orientation is. I don't care what your religion is. Well, mostly. Kind of have an issue with radical Islam. But when we as Americans can all be part of one race, the human race, nothing will stop us. So I want to talk about it. I want to talk about everything. I don't want to be hindered by politics, by race, by religion, by anything. We're going to start with Congress. We're going to start with making a difference and voting some of these people out by voting other people in. Well, the devil we know is better than the devil we don't know. Is it? What have they done for you? Nothing. It's not public service. It's self-service. Until next time, stay angry, my friends.